Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of The Accountant 2. This movie is directed by Gavin O'Connor, who previously directed Warrior, Pride and Glory, and the first Accountant movie. This movie stars Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal. Now, the plot of this movie takes place 8 years after the original film. And now Christian Wolf is still an analyst, but now he teams with his brother to solve a mystery. Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of The Accountant 2. This movie is directed by Gavin O'Connor, who previously directed Warrior, Pride and Glory, and the first Accountant movie. This movie stars Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal. Now, the plot of this film is about Christian Wolf, who is still an analyst, and the movie takes place 8 years after the first film. And now, Christian must team with his brother Braxton to solve a murder. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, okay, I like the first Accountant movie, so I'm intrigued to see what The Accountant 2 was going to bring 8 years later. And then I saw that Jon Bernthal was in this movie, like a lot. And so I figured it was going to be kind of like a buddy cop movie, but just with these two estranged brothers, you know, one of them that has a temper, and then the other one that's really quiet. And I was going to see how they clash, yet they're both badasses. So I was expecting to see some action along with the comedic brotherhood on screen. And having seen the movie, I can honestly say that, yeah, that's what we got. So let me start with the acting in this movie. Ben Affleck as Christian Wolf, a man that, you know, has autism or is on the spectrum. He was really good. He didn't skip a beat. He was really good in this role. Jon Bernthal, on the other hand, he was fine, but here he kind of slips into a role that I want him to get out of, and that's where Jon Bernthal kind of plays Jon Bernthal. You know, a lot like how the actor Jason Duran is a jerk in a lot of his movies. That's kind of where Jon Bernthal is when he's not, getting out of his shell and delivering a really good performance here. You have Jon Bernthal just getting irritated and agitated, and whenever he gets, pissed off or angry or confused, he just repeats what he says, but louder. Kind of like how Robert De Niro gets when he gets flustered, how he repeats himself, louder and gets more angrier. That's kind of how Jon Bernthal is here. Now, I will say that the dynamic between Christian and Braxton is what makes the movie. But I just wanted more scenes than just them disagreeing on something in their own ways. Jon Bernthal being loud and getting angry, and Christian, just kind of mumbling and staying quiet. Now, I wanted more action from this movie, and we did get action, but those action scenes were too few and far between for my liking. Now, this movie did have some highlights. I did like how this carried over a couple things from the first movie, including the group known as Harbor Neuroscience, with Ben Affleck's female assistant, if you will. She has her own little team, her young team, if you will. That was a nice touch. You had the character of Medina, played by Cynthia Addai Robinson. She comes back in this movie. She was fine. I know her from Spartacus Blood and Sand. And then you also have J.K. Simmons coming back as a cameo as the Ray King character. Now, I liked how they carried over elements from the first film, but because the first movie was almost a decade ago, I kind of felt there should have been a recap or more time given to these characters, because if you were to watch them back to back, it would be fine. But for characters who had no idea, audiences who had no idea who Ray King were or the character of Medina, I feel like they need to go back and watch the first one. And I don't really know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because when you make a sequel, audiences should either be introduced to these characters in the proper way, or they should kind of just flow from one movie into the next. And so having to go back and watch the first one, I don't really know what that means. Now, some negatives in this movie. I kind of felt this film felt a lot like a Jack Reacher type storyline, where you have a character that has, hey, seek out this person or get me this person to come in and help investigate and solve whatever's going on. This plot of this movie was very convoluted. I really couldn't tell you exactly what's going on without drawing you diagrams and showing you pictures and stuff, because a lot of it was messy. Now, the movie was a mystery, but when I'm kind of like going, oh yeah, I forgot about that character, or that's supposed to be who? When you don't have a strong plot, it takes me out of the movie. If you're there for the laughs and the action, that's what you're going to get with Accountant 2. Again, felt like a Jack Reacher movie where, you know, the plot and the mystery, I guess you're supposed to kind of just go, oh, okay, I don't get it, but this is the plot the story was going. The bad guys are just really mean people that are into some really dark stuff. And yeah, this is a cute, like, buddy cop brother movie. The best scene was inside this country western bar, where the two characters, you know, Braxton and Christian, act exactly how they would in a situation like that. So that part was appealing. But other than that, you know, you have a movie about two brothers that are trying to bond, that are so different, yet they're working together to solve this mystery. And, you know, John Bernthal does his John Bernthal tough guy, Punisher type stuff in this movie, which was cool to see. And Ben Affleck does a good Christian Wolf, a guy that's on the spectrum that's able to solve problems his own way. So that's what you get with this movie. I'm going to give The Accountant 2 a C. The first one was good. This one, to me, was a step down. A lot like the Jack Reacher movies. The first one was really good. Second one, you're like, did they have to make a sequel? And they might make another one of these movies. I'm okay with that. I just hope they step up, you know, the budget and they make the plot more clear. So until next time, guys, see ya.